The race for the top four is well and truly on in the Bundesliga, with Schalke, Dortmund, Bayer Leverkusen, Eintracht Frankfurt and Leipzig competing for a place in next season's Champions League, with Bayern Munich having already wrapped up the title and secured their place in the competition next term. Of the teams competing, Bayer Leverkusen have been one of the most exciting to watch, with their expressive 3-4-3 formation and plethora of young talent lighting up the Bundesliga. But where could they be if they'd kept all of their best players over the years? Could they rival Bayern Munich, or is no one capable of breaking their Bundesliga monopoly? Here is Bayer Leverkusen's 11 if they kept their best players. In goal is Bernd Leno. The 26-year-old arrived at Leverkusen in 2011 from Stuttgart and has been number one ever since, having already made 300 appearances for the club. On top of that, he's been capped 6 times for his country, and he would probably have more caps had it not been for the golden generation of German goalkeepers, with Leno competing alongside Manuel Neuer and Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Still not even at the peak of his powers, it's no wonder that Arsenal have been linked with Leno, who is contracted at Leverkusen until 2020. Our first centre-back is Jonathan Tah. It's a second current Leverkusen lad, with Johnny Tah a key component of Heiko Herrlich's back line. Like Bernd Leno, Tah is a full German international with 3 caps to his name, and like Leno, has been linked with a move to the Premier League. With Toby Alderweireld seemingly heading for the Spurs exit, Tah is a target for Tottenham. Christ, that's difficult to say. Next up is Emre Can. While the Liverpool player is at home in Jurgen Klopp's midfield nowadays, well, until the summer at least, Can was a pretty versatile lad a few years ago, playing in defence when called upon, and that's exactly where he is in this Bayer Leverkusen Fantasy 11. Can actually only spent 1 year at the club, joining in 2013 from Bayern Munich, but 1 year later, Brendan Rodgers triggered his £9 million release clause and brought him to Merseyside, where the Rolls-Royce midfielder is developing into the diamond he always looked to be. Sadly for Liverpool though, it looks like we won't be seeing the finished article in the Premier League, as Can seeks to move away when his contract ends this summer. Centre-back number 3 is Sven Bender. Not to be confused with twin Lars, this is the one who spent 8 years at Borussia Dortmund and converted to a centre-back, rather than Lars, who has been at Leverkusen since 2009, is now the club's captain, suffering with injury problems throughout his career. Sven would get the chance to link up with his brother in 2017, and I'm sure both of them are so grateful that they're not English, as with a last name like that, they'll have got bullied to bits. On the right is Dani Carvajal. It's a 3-4-3 formation here, so Carvajal is expected to both attack and defend here, despite not being known for his goal-scoring ability. He is a product of Real Madrid's academy, but Dani Carvajal is by no means a one-club man, selling the fullback to Bayer Leverkusen in 2012. The Germans paid just €5 million for Carvajal, but Madrid inserted a buyback clause into his contract, which they exercised just a year later, bringing him back to the Bernabeu for only €6.5 million after 32 Bundesliga appearances. Since returning to Real, Carvajal has developed into one of the best fullbacks in the world, winning pretty much all there is to win at club level, and to think, all Bayer Leverkusen got was €1.5 million profit. Damn that pesky buyback clause. In the middle is Toni Kroos. A cheeky one here as Toni Kroos was never actually a permanent Leverkusen player, but they did play a key role in the playmaker's development, handing him his first real taste of sustained first team football, with Kroos heading to the Bayer Arena in 2009 on loan. While there's no doubt that Bayer have been impressive this season, you can't deny that Kroos is the second current Real Madrid player who would improve their starting 11 massively. It's just a shame they never actually had him permanently. He's alongside Arturo Vidal. It was Bayer Leverkusen who gave the Chilean his big break in European football, signing him from Colo-Colo in 2007 back when he was just a 20-year-old. Vidal spent 4 seasons in Germany before joining Juventus, where the midfielder added 7 trophies to his cabinet, including 4 Serie A crowns. Vidal would return to Germany in 2015, signing for the biggest club in the land, Bayern Munich, where he has just helped the Bavarians win their 6th straight Bundesliga crown. Let's hope he didn't go out driving to celebrate. On the left-hand side is Andreas Schurrle. Just like in today's Leverkusen side, it's an unorthodox figure on the left-hand side of the 3-4-3 formation. While in reality it's the breakout star of the season, Leon Bailey, not sure, in our side we've got former Leverkusen star Andreas Schurrle. The 27-year-old has had an interesting career so far, impressing in patches wherever he's been, but never really cementing his place as a top bracket player before being sold on. Now with Dortmund, World Cup winner Schurrle was linked with another move in January, with the likes of Swansea City and West Brom linked with the 57-cap Germany international. Unsurprisingly, Schurrle didn't opt for a relegation battle ahead of the World Cup. Our front three begins with Hakan Çalhanoğlu. He was a Bayer Leverkusen player until last summer and only just gets in this team ahead of some fine attacking players from Bayer's present in Kevin Volland, Kai Havertz and Julian Brandt. In 2017, Çalhanoğlu will be a part of AC Milan's incredible recruitment drive, with the attacking midfielder arriving at the San Siro for an initial €20 million. A fantastic playmaker, Çalhanoğlu's biggest asset is his set pieces, and the Turk is almost unrivaled from a dead ball situation. That is except for that last from the Bend It Like Beckham film. Christ, she was miles better than Çalhanoğlu. Next up is Javier Hernandez. The little P, Fergie's super sub with his face a little bit like a woman, Javier Hernandez got his career back on track at Bayer Leverkusen, joining from Manchester United in 2015, having been told to leave the club by Louis van Gaal, who had already loaned the Mexican out once despite his importance at Old Trafford, especially under Sir Alex Ferguson. But no, Van Gaal knew best, and as well as getting rid of Danny Welbeck, brought in a shot to bits Radamel Falcao. But anyway, Hernandez was a scoring machine in Germany, bagging 39 goals in 76 appearances before returning to England with West Ham, where sadly he spent most of his time on the bench. Should have just stayed in Germany, eh Javier? And finally we've got Son Heung-Min. The South Korean sensation has spent most of his career in Germany, starting out with Hamburg before joining Bayer Leverkusen in 2013 for a then club record fee of €10 million. At the Bayer Arena, Son was impressive in front of goal coming in from the flanks, averaging about a goal every 3 games, a record that he's maintained at Spurs while taking his game to a whole new level. Son cost the North Londoners £22 million, and his first campaign wasn't actually anything to write home about, with the winger reportedly asking to leave the club at the end of the season. But since then, Son has been heralded as the most underrated player in all of the land, which is a load of bollocks because he's actually just really good, and he's gone on to become a key player under Maurizio Pochettino. If Leverkusen had him now, could they bridge that gap to Bayern Munich and win their first ever Bundesliga crown? So that's Bayer Leverkusen's 11 if they'd kept their best players in years gone by. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.